Hi, this is Sherry Veronica, and maybe this is wishful thinking, but I think that it would benefit Barbados tremendously if they were to have a benefactor, someone who is probably a billionaire to support the news in Barbados, okay? If the newspapers, especially Nation, is subsidized by the government, it's going to be swayed. Your news will be swayed. And there's only going to be certain things you are going to see in your news. And as such, a newspaper in Barbados is way, way, way expensive. If you were to look at it on a yearly basis, you can find yourself spending over $700 a year to read the news. Why would you do that? That is a lot of money. Okay, so going through your paper today, it's not even the full thing. I'm seeing there's a fruit guy. His name is Marlon. He's being featured. Gabby at 75 is being featured. You know who Gabby is. He's a singer, songwriter. And they talk about the reggae vibes. And then they talk about the mother of the missing girls. Now, these are things that you've seen in your paper so many times before. It's like a repeat, like I've said before. And then you talk about, then they are talking about the DLP and the BLP. It's politics. But they're saying nothing. Leaders say answer call to service. They're saying nothing. Government taking action on issues. The government doesn't take any kind of action on issues. You know, the AG is like a job that does not need to be there. We know that. Then you see the Pine folks appeal for lot to be cleared. This actually made the news, where you see a little bit of garbage and there's a photo, and they talk about something that's happening in the Pine where the citizens should take care of that. That should never make the news. That should be an embarrassment, actually. It should be an embarrassment. Then they talk about the Panama connection, Barbados and Panama, the connection. Then they talk about the labor unions are still relevant. You know, labor unions still relevant. For some reason, occupational health and safety matters are equally as important as decency, as decent pay and job security. That's part of the labor unions are still relevant article. And then you talk, that has the sports part now, where you see this lady on a skateboard or whatever board it is, and she's in the, you know, Tosh is her name, and she takes silver in some kind of competition. Then they have this picnic that the BLP gave photos of picnic, and then they talk about fiscal policy helps stability with the, you know, your governor of the central bank. They have been repeating about your governor and how great things are in Barbados. It's a repeat. It's a repeat. And then they're talking about NIS. You know, they're telling you not to solely depend. Everyone knows that. Live within your means. And it's a bunch of repeated stuff. Bajans raise concern over the number of heroes, you know, address violence in school. You see, everything is a repeat. You always talk about the violence in your schools and the bullying in the schools. It's a repeat. So maybe if you were to have someone that has a whole lot of money invest in a newspaper for Barbados, where you can speak freely, where you do not have to repeat things over and over again. Like I said, if you were to mark your calendar, every year you will see a repeat of the same thing. I guess, well, crop over comes the same time every year, and certain things come the same time every season. But yet there's a repeat. Even within 2 days, 3 days, you look at your paper, same thing. So please, if you can find some people not within your service industry there, because they will control it too. You need someone maybe outside of Barbados who has billions of dollars and who would invest in you getting news, real news, as you should, in your newspaper. And maybe they would have enough journalists to go out and do whatever they need to do and get paid quite well, that they wouldn't really worry about the little threat here and there. If you pay them enough, and they can have cameras and everything is topsy-turvy, not topsy-turvy, but everything is copacetic, everything is organized. They wouldn't mind doing real news. They wouldn't mind if they're being paid top dollar. They wouldn't mind giving you the real news about what's going on in Barbados. As such, people are afraid and they're saying, that's not part of my job. That's not part. I don't get paid that much to do this much, and they're giving you bare bones. You're getting bare bones in your newspapers. Okay, this is Sherry Veronica.